I ended up, meeting this older man. This older man came out of nowhere. I was in front of my dad's job. He came and he's seen me. And it's kind of like they have detectors. Like, I want to say predators can tell when they see somebody vulnerable, right? So he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. What's your name?" And he really caught me off guard, but I loved hearing those type of things. My body, my soul, my emotions, like I didn't hear stuff like that. So it was like I craved it. And so when I heard him saying that, it just like literally locked me in. It's kind of like he was telling me a dream and it was all fake, but I couldn't tell the difference. I was naive. I was young. I had all these issues I was going through. I started hanging out with him and he started getting me loaded off of marijuana and started getting me loaded off of ecstasy pills. I would tell my dad I was going to go hang out with a friend, but in reality, I was taken off with this man. And he was 27. I was 15 at this time, but he told me he was 19. And so that's where the deceit comes in the manipulation, because I was, like I said, I was naive. He took me to hotel rooms. He got me hooked on ecstasy pills. And when I was on these ecstasy pills, I was on 2 or 3 pills and I was hallucinating. I couldn't comprehend what was going on. I couldn't consent. So that's where he would have me do sexual favors for him, or he'll sodomize me. So this is what he was doing. And this is all part of the grooming process. Like, it's the honeymoon phase. When you engage with somebody sexually and you're coming from a home like the home I came from, and you're looking for that father figure, it's kind of like that soul tie, that emotion tie. So that's how he was getting me in, was that sexual tie. And an emotion tie, and he was being like a father to me. He was buying me food. He was taking care of me, giving me attention to where my father wasn't doing that. I took him to my dad's house. When I brought him home to my dad was drinking, and I said, "Dad, he's my new boyfriend." And he said, "Oh, well, as long as you wear protection and you go to don't take her to projects, you can date my daughter." This man's tatted up, bald-headed, like you could tell he was a grown man. Like I said, my dad didn't have any tools. Like, he didn't know the signs. He was a drunk, and I just showed up unexpectedly. So he wasn't trying to be there for me. He said, "Go ahead and date my daughter." So I ran away with him. I just took off with the man because I felt like, well, I'm not happy here at my dad's. I felt like if I came here, I would, and I'm not. So far I'm happy with this man. And so I end up running away with this guy. This is called Romeo Pimpin', where they, the boyfriends come and they all of a sudden they're your boyfriends. They love you. They take care of you. And then bam, they're trafficking you. He actually took me to Sacramento, and he introduced me to his dad. And so his dad was living in his house. It was a dope house. Like, it was a trap house. Everybody was coming in and smoking meth, getting loaded. When I first walked up in there's so much smoke. There's people laying around everywhere. There was pipes and foil everywhere. And I didn't know what meth was at the time. I was just I felt a lot of fear, and I was uncomfortable, but I was with my boyfriend. So I was okay. So he would put me in a room and leave me in that room, and he'll take off for days at a time. And I would just be in that room by myself. And I wasn't going to come out and mingle with everybody because I was afraid. At this time, I was 15, about to turn 16. So I was still young. He would come back home with all these hickeys all over his neck. And when he would come back, that would freak me out and traumatize me. Because I'm like, well, this man obviously cheated on me and I love him. And I can't believe he's doing that. So I'll freak out. In order to calm me down, he had me try meth for the first time. He put it on foil and he had me smoke it. And I got really sick and I threw up. But he just gave me more medication to calm me down. And that's when he'll sodomize me. So it's kind of like a method he had. And I will be good after that. I would totally forget what just happened. And I would just be okay because I was with him. That was all I wanted, was to be with him. Eventually, I introduced him to my grandma, to my uncles, and my cousins. I didn't know that this was happening, but my uncles and my cousins were supplying him in the house that we were at with meth. So my family knew what was going on. They knew I was with this man. They just didn't care. It's not their priority. And my family, is part of the problem. So that's why now I choose to set that boundary, and I don't talk to him. I don't talk to my family. They have that boundary. They're doing what they're doing, and I'm okay with that. I moved on, and I have my own family within organizations, within my church. I just have my own family that I feel like God blessed me with now to stand in the gap of my family who I choose not to talk to. He ended up taking me to 16th and Mission. And when he took me to 16th and Mission, this is where he started to show me how to sell drugs. He would go and buy crack from the projects, and he will, ball them up in bags and stuff like that. And he'll have me hold on to it. So I'll either put it in my mouth or other areas of my body, and he would make the drug deals, to all the people on the streets. I was kind of like his mule holding on to his drugs.